Welcome back, everybody. Week 5, recap, the Winning Point podcast. I'm your boy, Tony, my brother, Rex, our producer, Paul. Another interesting week. Our records are continuously inversed. I guess I'll start with the good news.
Let's start at the positive.
The positive, yeah. Raiders at the Colts.
The beautiful work the Colts are doing.
It was a blowout, 6-40 in favor of the Colts. I guess I'll break it down to what I liked and one of my concerns. Mm-hmm. What I liked is the offense continued to be fluent. Yeah. There was no one focus, I guess. One player that they focused on, the ball continued to be spread around, so it kept the defense guessing. It was very efficient. Quiet as kept. The beginning of this game was a lot closer than it looked. The beginning of the game was pretty competitive, but like certain things went our way. Our first drive, we were held to a field goal, and they got the ball, drove all the way downfield, and we capitalized on the opportunity of a tipped ball. Mm-hmm. Latu picked it off, and then from there, six straight touchdowns.
Six straight touchdown drives.
Jeez. Yeah. And like they had no answers at the beginning of the game. Max Crosby DN for them, number I think 98.
Yeah, Crosby's 98.
Yeah, he started off with a bang. Tackled I think Jonathan Taylor for a loss, and then applied some pressure early. Yeah, but then we're able to nullify him from like the second quarter on. Like you didn't hear about him again. So
tight end chips, I'm sure.
Yeah, of course. He's
very susceptible to those.
Yeah, exactly. So very aggressive. So you can kind of get him out of position and stuff. Ashton Doolin stepped in for Alec Pierce, who's still on concussion protocol. He was supposed to play practice all week, but didn't clear. And
you didn't need him.
Doolin, we do. He's actually
no. You didn't need him.
We did for this game. Yeah,
right.
yeah. So like, it was a concern because it was like, is AD coming back? AD Mitchell, Adonai Mitchell, our wide receiver, number 10, who cost us last week's game, was supposed to be the guy that steps in for Alec Pierce, but he is under punishment.
Right.
I think he would have been inactive if Alec Pierce was.
Oh wow,
playing. Yeah,
that's how bad they are.
It was. Yeah. So he played later on in the fourth quarter when the subs came in, when Anthony Richardson came in, but Doolin came in and actually played the way we expected Adonai Mitchell to play the previous week.
Oh.
Had some big plays, deep plays. He even had a kickoff return for a touchdown, but it was called back for holding. Was it Adonai Mitchell that held? Adonai Mitchell doesn't even play special teams, ironically. But yeah, he had a good game, and I think going forward, until AD Mitchell shows the coach something, I think they will play Doolin in like packages that were supposed to be for Mitchell. So. Yeah,
I was going to ask that. So do you think the depth chart with regards to Doolin and Mitchell might switch a little bit? Or
I think for a little bit until
Mitchell gets it together, or Doolin takes a stranglehold.
I think it's no question that the talent difference is not even close. Yeah. But you still have to be professional. Yeah, exactly. So I think he'll get those snaps over Mitchell going forward until Mitchell proves that he can be trusted in big moments. So those are the things I liked. Of course, Jones, no turnovers. Indiana Jones once again come through. Jonathan Taylor had a pedestrian game for his standards, but he had 3 touchdowns. So that kind of negated his pedestrian running game. And then the opportunistic defense continued. Forced some turnovers, got them off the field, got the offense off the field when needed, frustrated Geno Smith. So that was good to see that they continue that. As far as concerns, they took our kicker out. Kicker's on IR, and I think he was the leading kicker in the league coming into this game. He had scored quite a few points. So they didn't even block the kick, but they landed on the leg that was planted. Not the leg that kicked, but the other leg. So he tore his ACL and MCL.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So
was it a flag at least?
It was a flag.
Okay.
But we didn't have a kicker for like 3/4 of the game. So we kept going for 2.
Jeez,
yeah. Man. So he's out. So that's a concern. We got to get a replacement of a kicker. And that's hard, because a lot of the good kickers are hired.
Right. Well, on the bright side, there's a kicker coming available on November 11th.
the RSA daughters are not going to hire him for his stigma, just for his stigma alone,
Good point.
Yeah, but yeah, that'll be great if he was available for us because he's a good kicker at the end of the day. But just because of his, I doubt.
That makes sense.
Things also that I'm concerned about, we still have subpar play at linebacker. And every week we keep like replacing so there's Zaire Franklin.
Zaire's the man,
for 44 starter. And then next to him, it's been like a carousel of linebackers. Every week we're trying someone from the practice squad, someone we pick up. So the hope is Jermaine Pratt was just cut by the Raiders. He used to play for the Bengals, one of the better linebackers for Anaruma when he was with the Bengals.
I remember Pratt.
Yeah, so he's a free agent now.
We dealt with him a lot.
Yeah. So he's a free agent now. We are hoping that we sign him. I don't know.
There are a lot of free agent middle linebackers available, so
I think it has to fit. I think he's very particular about the guys he likes.
Maybe. Well, I don't know why he wants to bring guys from Cincinnati because it wasn't working out.
They weren't that.
I'm very negative today. So.
Yeah, Pratt was decent. I mean, he's better than what we have.
Right.
Another concern: 9 penalties. Never good. So we need to work on those, clean those up, especially when we get to the better teams in the league. We can't have that. One of them, as I said earlier, cost us a kickoff return. Luckily, we still scored a touchdown on that drive.
Okay.
But, so those are my major concerns for now. For our game, African player of the game, Samson Ebukam. 5 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, 1 sack, number 52
Oh,
DN.
nice.
Yeah.
Wait, 2 sacks?
Was it 2 sacks?
Oh, that's on the season, I think.
Yeah, 2 for the season. Yeah. So it was 1 sack, 1 tackle for loss, 5 tackles.
Impressive.
So Nigerian.
Man. Yeah, I remember.
For the
he used to be with the Rams.
Yeah.
I remember him.
He used to be with the 2 teams. He used to be the Rams
and the 49ers. Yes. That's correct.
So,
I remember that.
Yeah, that's pretty much business as usual for us this week.
I do have a question though, and at the risk of sounding like a hater, I'm not fully sold on the Colts. And the irony is like, people in glass houses, because I know what we're dealing with in Baltimore, but they're beating on bad teams. They've I wouldn't say struggle because they've competed against the good teams, but they haven't done the convincing win yet against a decent or a good team, in my opinion. So do you still have some hesitations about what this team is fully capable of? Or are you just happy because of how far you guys have come that, hey, we're winning games no matter how it works? Because I think of teams like the Jags, for example. I think of teams like the Bucs, for example, who the Bucs could easily be 0-5. Like they are winning, and every win builds your confidence. Every win makes you feel like, there's no mountain too high to climb. But there are still some mountains that you guys are yet to prove that you can climb. So what are your thoughts on?
I think you only beat what you have in front of you, right? And I think you're right.
Sure.
A lot of the teams that we've beaten are not the best in the league. But at the same time, in this league...
Sorry, can you pull up the Colts schedule for the season?
Yeah. It gets tougher later.
Right.
So, like, we still have... The East is the easier part of the schedule. But even with the easier part of the schedule, it's not easy to blow out bad teams consistently in this league. Like, these teams are also playing other teams and they're not getting blown out, So we're doing that at a consistent pace. And that bodes well for us down the line. And even the 2... I guess, considerably better teams that we've played ourselves in position to win. I know the Broncos game, there was a little bit of luck with the whole field goal penalty that they had.
That's your schedule?
Yeah.
Oh, you guys can win 12 games.
It's possible.
Playing like this. Because you have Tennessee twice still.
Yep.
You have...
No, we played them once.
Oh, no, sorry. You have Arizona.
Yeah.
You have the Chargers, who are starting to fall apart because their running backs keep dropping like flies.
They were considered a good team.
They were till now. You have Pittsburgh, who's, we don't know. Atlanta might be a challenge because of their offense and how high-powered it is if their quarterback shows up. Houston, we're not sure because, Baltimore doesn't count. Jacksonville, they fight.
They're in a race for the division.
Yeah, so you have a pretty sweet schedule, so you can ride this to the playoff and a AFC South division title. Actually,
yeah, I think, and people could call me a hater. I think the AFC is up for grabs. Obviously, there are juggernaut quarterbacks that make a difference in the playoffs. But like you saw,
they all lost this week.
Yeah, New England. I think what New England did is no different from what we've been doing. Like the way New England played Buffalo yesterday was how, if you watch our games, very similar.
Gotcha.
Very, very stout and very, very stout on defense. Not not like literally elite, but they make plays. On offense, there's fluid. They make the right play calls. People make plays, and it's not like you're focusing on like stars. Right. It's like very fluid, like spread out and everything. Yeah. So
can't double team anybody because
so I think and it's also early, so it's obviously the Chiefs are starting to gain form and they lost to the Jaguars. And the Jaguars are in our division as well. They haven't looked great either, but they've played well. They've made plays. They have the makeup of what looks like a good team. Yeah, very good defense. Offense has talent, but they haven't quite put it together convincingly yet.
Dude, you guys can go 10-1.
It's very possible if you play
before
well.
Your bye, I think you can go 10-1.
Barring any injuries. I think the key is if we remain healthy in the trenches, we can go the distance with anybody. Right. Like I was saying with the Denver Broncos, a lot of people say we got lucky, but at the same time we played ourselves in position to win.
To be lucky.
And I think that people forget that the coach made a mistake in trying to play for a 60-yard field goal.
He admitted that.
If he had played for a closer field goal, we would have won that game and there wouldn't be any question.
He admitted that.
What I mean?
He admitted.
But they also made that penalty. It was a penalty and we kicked it again.
Which was also the coach's fault because he called for that pressure that led to that penalty.
Exactly. So, and then obviously the Rams took 2 touchdowns away because of AD. I mean, it could have been a different game. So I'm not saying like we're great, but I think we're for real. Like we're a good football team. That's what we are.
No, you guys are great.
Yeah,
think we're great? Check this stat right here. The Indianapolis Colts point differential is the best in the league right now.
Oh yeah. They
Come on now.
They put points up and they prevent teams from scoring. So that's very impressive.
I think the reason why I'm not saying we're great yet is because we haven't been put in those positions where like the quarterback has to make an elite play or an elite decision. When we see that, then I'll be like, okay, we're great. But I think we're playing very good football. We can play with anybody in the league right now, unless we get injured or anything. Hopefully, fingers crossed. You
haven't had to come back from a double-digit deficit.
Things like that. We haven't.
You haven't had injuries to see what you can do.
Injuries we have had. Injuries we had, but we've overcome.
Like
we lost.
Your kicker, like you said, you just lost your kicker.
Lost a kicker. That we'll find out how that plays out as the season goes. But even the last game against the Rams, we're missing 2 linemmen.
For what it's worth, Blankenship has been like.
I heard in the other league.
He shoots videos of him making versions of all the kicks that the top kickers missed in the week.
Wow.
Yeah, so every kick that is missed, Blankenship over the weekend will put up a video on YouTube of him making the kick.
He was not a good kicker in our league, but I think he went to another league and did really well.
All right, I don't think he's playing for anybody, so he's just trying to figure out how he can get back in there.
I think we're going to test the Asian kid that used to kick for
Young Oiku for Atlanta.
Yeah, he's a free agent. So I think we'll probably test him and a few others.
Yeah. Well, anyway, it's going to be fun watching the Colts go through the season.
Next week, Arizona.
So that should be... Arizona, the quarterback got...
I mean, they lost to the Titans, so we should...
But the fashion in which they lost was just unbelievable. The funniest part of that game to me was a snap that hit Kyler in the face, and I believe it gave him a concussion. Because he was wobbly. He was wobbly after a snap of a football hit him in the helmet. I was like...
They had an A.D. Mitchell moment as well.
They had an A.D. Mitchell moment. The coach had to smack a player in the chest.
Oh, he's lucky.
He's going to get fined for that.
He's gonna get fined.
They got to fine him for that.
Because some teams fire coaches for that. But
you can't do that to players. You can't do that to players. I remember when Ohio State guy that went to Jacksonville, I always forget his name.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Got the coach, and then he was pulling players' legs during stretches and stuff. That was one of the things they mentioned when they fired him.
Yeah.
So it's definitely he's not getting fired for that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But it's definitely something to. Yeah. He's definitely gonna get fined.
Our division is gonna be interesting because Jacksonville has the same record as us.
Oh, Jacksonville!
We don't play each other until later in the season. So by the time we play each other, we've probably played a lot of the same teams. So we'll get an idea how that looks going into that.
Well, if the record stayed the same, that would be some exciting.
Texans will be in the mix too. They've started winning, so we'll see. They've started winning.
They've won a game.
They've won 2, I think.
They've won 2 games, but they've won a game. I don't know.
So,
if they started winning, but
it's gonna be interesting how that plays out. But yeah, we're riding the wave. And shout out to Shane Steichen and Danny Jones.
Yeah, exciting times in Indy.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah.
Fun.
How about the other team from Baltimore because you were originally from Baltimore, so I just had to throw that out there.
Do we have to? Can we just end the podcast right now? Yeah. It's a wrap. This was a good episode. Can we go home? Like, I don't want to do this.
But guys, let's segue into the elephant in the room. Even I, coming in, I was sold that you guys were going to be one of the teams to beat, and it has really, really pied us in the face. I don't even know who to pass it to. Paul?
Let's go to Paul to tell us what the stadium
Paul, you were there
like.
In the flesh. Tell us.
I plead the fifth. No. I mean, it was as bad on the bench as you could imagine. It was worse than the game versus the Chiefs. One of the main things I think of is like, this is why you have to win when you're good and winning. Like you have to get, if you have a Super Bowl caliber team, you got to win then. Yeah. I mean, the past 2 or 3 years, Ravens have looked really good.
Knocking at the door, and things are starting to fall through the cracks now, and we're seeing it. It's got to be a coaching thing. I don't really know what's going on. But from the bench, I mean, morale.
We might have recorded 2 minutes of the third quarter, and then we just kind of sat around because there's nobody wants a microphone in their face when they're getting humiliated. So it was rough. Yeah, it was not fun.
I don't think I've ever seen the Ravens like ever since I've been watching football. And you've had some bad seasons, but it's never like I've never seen a single game where it's like, what's going on this bad?
Yeah, the bench camera guy I work with has been working there since '98. Worked every game since '98. He's never left the field early. Wow. And so we left the field early again because we were like,
twice in 2 weeks.
There's nothing to shoot on the bench here. We can't. There's no point. And then another camera guy has been there for 17 years. He's like, I'm like, what do we do here? He's like, I don't know. Like, what are we supposed to do here? What kind of content can we make here?
Yeah.
So the Ravens media team is just like struggling because they're like, well, what do you do?
Jeez, man. Well, they'll have to call their friends from the Browns and the Panthers and teams
I'll
like that.
I'll suggest this as a neutral. I guess you document moments of this in case there's a redemption story this season. The season's not over. Yeah. It's not over. So in case, there's a turnaround and all of miraculously you're like on the cusp of the playoffs, you have these moments to combine with that, climb back up.
And you just stitch together a bunch of podcasters like us and TV guys talking about the Ravens are done and the season is over, and then doom, then you give them the Undertaker music, and then there's the Ravens coming back up.
Yeah.
We could dream. But that's
the reason why I was saying that is not before, because I gotta hear what you have to say. The reason why I have a feeling that it's not over is in 2018, Andrew Luck's last season, we started the season 2-4. We finished this season 11-5. We didn't win our division, but we made the playoffs. Obviously, certain things around us had to kind of fall in place. But at the end of the day, you just win your games. That's all you can do. Win your games. Try to win. The look that you're giving me right now. Win your games and let everything else take care of itself.
What is he talking about? Did they give up 175 points in 5 games? No. Did they lose games by the half? No. Like, this is not the same thing we're talking about over here. Anyway.
I guess. Different scenario.
Guys, I don't even know where to start with the Baltimore Ravens. I could go full Shador Sanders and just... Or I could go Nafisa Collier. I don't know if you saw Nafisa Collier. She's in the WNBA and she went scorched earth on the commissioner.
I did.
I could go there and just rail on the team.
I did see that.
But most fans have given up at this point. A lot of people are like, fire the coach and blah, blah, blah. The team has nothing left. And it feels much worse because there's still so much season to play.
Yeah.
Like, to quit this early when there's so much left to play is just like, what are we going to witness for the next... it's 5 games, so the next 12 weeks of football, next 13 weeks of a season, before we even talk about playoffs, forget that. But, like, there's so much football to play. Mm-hmm. And as a fan, and you guys can all attest to this, football is much more fun to watch when your team is doing good. In general, for any game. Yeah. Like, the football is more fun. So when your team is not doing well, the rest of football is not as much fun. So this is what happened. Like, you guys know, and I've mentioned once or twice on the pod, on Sundays at 1 p.m. I coach girls soccer 5 to 7. So I missed the beginning of the 1 p.m. games.
Shout out to your superstar on your team. The
girl. Shout out to my team, man. They won again. So we're 2 wins in. So we're 2-2 now. After a horrible start, we picked it up. Maybe we can go talk to the Ravens, have these kids talk to the Ravens about turning it around. Yeah, but so I get in the car. My daughter's in the back excited. We won. And I click on my phone, and I look at the score, and it's the first half, and it's 24-3. And I'm like, whoa, what is happening? So, I put my car in gear. I'm driving, get to a light. I check the score. Now it's 30-3. And I'm like, it felt like, I don't know if you guys paid attention to the Mark Sanchez story over the weekend.
I did.
So every time a new update came, it was worse than the one before. Yeah. That's the same feeling I was having looking at the Ravens score. So I got home. I didn't even turn the game on. I just put the TV on for the kid to watch because what is the point? Yeah. And the only time I checked the score, it still kept getting worse. And I was just like, man, I don't believe this is happening. But let's look forward. I don't know what can necessarily be done to fix the season, but I don't think Hobbs deserves to be fired mid-season. He has been around long enough. He has steered multiple ships from bad places to positive places that he deserves to finish the season, have the type of press conference where they shake hands and they part ways. You don't fire somebody like that in the middle of the season. I don't think that's fair to him. So the fans can scream all they want. I don't think it's fair. I don't know if firing Zach and bringing somebody else will turn the defense around, because this is what I'm seeing. There's a difference between X's and O's, and then there's effort. So I wasn't seeing X's and O's earlier in the season. Now I'm not seeing effort. And then, like I said last week, peer pressure. The offense was playing well, the defense wasn't. You're hoping the offense can put some peer pressure on the defense to play better, but the defense better put it on the offense to play worse. So now we have two sides of the ball that are both listless, not doing anything. Yeah. And you just watch every snap, every drive. It's just like there's no hope in the drives. The players don't look. There was one go route Rashad Bateman ran, and he kind of slowed down mid-route. He had beaten the corner, slows down, the corner passes him and catches a pick. Wow. And everybody's like, why do you run through the ball? What are you doing? But that's just the mood of the team. I don't know if Lamar Jackson coming back can fix that. Also, do not bring that boy back if he's not fully healthy. Please. We don't need any more of that. Just put him on ice even if it's 4 weeks, because this season is pretty much done. We can accept that. My contention with the team, and this is more with the players, is a lot of these players are playing for future contracts and future teams. A lot of them. So it's baffling that they are not putting in the effort to be like, hey, the team might not be good, but I need to make this money. I got to do something. So that's another thing that's baffling me. Like, where is your effort to be better, to fight a little harder, even if not for the team around you, but for the contract that you will get later? And then now, again, going forward, the only way I can see this salvageable is the players have to start to show effort before we get to X's and O's. It's like a multi-part exam question, the part A, part B. You can't solve part B till you solve part A, because you need information from part A to get to part B. Part A is effort. Let's see if you guys really want this. Let's see the fight. Let's see the grit. And that is where a coach like Harbaugh is necessary, because Harbaugh is a leader of men. He's not an X's and O's guy, but he's a leader of men. Our issues with Harbaugh over the last how many years has been when it's crunch time and we need somebody to draw up something for offense or defense or do something or change how the game is going because it's going a certain way. Harbaugh is a fan like us. He's just standing there with his mouth open looking as surprised as we are watching the plays, because he's not an X's and O's guy, but he can rah-rah the guys all day. Another thing that I've noticed about Harbaugh over the years is Harbaugh struggles coaching teams that have big players, big in not stature physically, but egos, stars, people that are making a lot of money. And as far as I can remember, this team right now might have the most big stars or the most superstars that Harbaugh has ever had to deal with. You have the highest paid safety. You have a Hall of Fame running back. You have one of the greatest quarterbacks possibly we've ever seen. You have Marlon, who was an all-pro corner. You have Jair, all-pro corner from another team. You have a first-round pick in Malachi Stacks that everybody raves about. You have all this talent on the team. So I don't know if that works for him, because he needs people that are bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and just like, oh, Harbaugh, yes, we'll follow you. We'll run through a wall for you. And I don't think he has that now. So at the end of the season, no matter how it goes, I think Harbaugh's time in Baltimore is done. The ceiling has been reached. We know that when it's crunch time and we're in games like in Buffalo or in Kansas City and the tide is turning slowly, because NFL never turns quickly. Because even though it might say 7 points, it's still one score.
It's one score.
It never turns quickly.
Yeah.
So, and he doesn't know how to adjust. We watched him punt a ball in Buffalo in week 1 where everybody watching their TV was screaming, don't punt that ball. Don't punt that ball. He punted that ball, and this is where we got to. Yeah. We watched him last year against Buffalo, and then 2 years ago against Kansas City. Just things that regular people on their couches, we don't have all the information, but we just know it's right or wrong. Yeah. And they're just doing wrong. And then we're like, are you part of this decision? Because you've seen this. Yeah. Try something different. Let us feel like you're trying something different. Yeah. And then another thing that drives me a little crazy about Harbaugh is he always comes to a press conference and talks like, oh, we are overreacting to what is happening. Oh, it's just a little thing. We'll watch a little film. We'll practice a little harder. We'll do a little this, and we'll turn it around. And I'm like, Hobbs, no, that's not what's happening. The team is lost. The players don't believe in whatever message you're shipping. Mm-hmm. Something has to change drastically. But firing anybody at this point, personally, would not fix it. Zach Orr leaving is not going to fix it for me. Harbaugh leaving is not going to fix it for me. So I honestly don't know where we go from here. But for the rest of the season, I just want to see fight. I just want to see them fight.
I'm not a fan of mid-season fires either, actually, especially because it doesn't really prove anything.
No,
a lot of the time.
They're not going to do that. Yeah, that's just not the organization that they are.
Exactly.
They're going to silently fire people. So whoever's calling the defense right now will not be calling next week. Like 100%. There's no shot. I don't know who's calling the plays. Right. I don't even know if Zach Orr's calling the plays.
He is right now.
Is this his first time?
Okay, but there's also
his second time.
There's also defensive people upstairs with Todd Monken.
Assistants,
that could have well played. I mean, we don't know. We don't know who's making the plays. So
Chuck is there.
Pagano, yeah.
See, that's the thing is there's so many people that we don't know about who's actually making the play calls.
Right.
So, but they're not going to fire anyone. I don't think so.
No,
I think
that's just
we've done that before though. We've done that before. In 2012, in our Super Bowl year, our offensive coordinator was listless. We fired him. We gave it to your former head coach, Kinky.
I forget his name.
We gave it to him. Caldwell. We gave it to Caldwell, and we won a Super Bowl out of it. But if you watch that season, we were not a Super Bowl team. We were having our issues. Ray Lewis had torn his bicep. Like it was a lot going on.
Narrowly got in and then rode on
and
the
then
momentum.
And then we rode through, and then we had some lucky bounces here and there in Denver,
Denver
and stuff. So
rest in peace.
Jacoby Jones. Yeah. It's not fully over, but it doesn't look good. And my biggest disappointment is the players, because no matter what they're calling, let me see some effort.
I think, and I might be wrong, I think usually when it's in this situation, and I'm sure like some of your players will come back. Some of them, you had a lot of missing players in this game on defense. They all scheduled to come back as the season goes, right? Like just Kyle Hamilton.
One is on IR, season-ending IR, and one is on 4-week IR, but those are both on the D-line. Okay. All the secondary, they're expected to come back and trickle back in at some point.
I'd say sometimes when, like, you get a situation where, like, it looks like the effort isn't there, sometimes it could be the scheme. Sorry about that, yes. It could be the scheme is overwhelming the players where they're overthinking, and it looks like it's not effort, but because they're second-guessing, it looks like it's lackluster.
Sure.
So a lot of times what some teams do is they'll just make it very simple, so that because you have star power, it's like instinctive, and usually that kind of wins. I'll give you an example. I always fall back to our old era.
Right.
Like the year we won the Super Bowl. Before we went into the wild card game, we played Jacksonville, and they run us off the field. Defense looked terrible, missed tackles. It looked like we were going into the playoffs, but it looked like we were in no position to win any sort of game.
Right.
Fred Taylor had over 100 yards. Morris Jones-Drew had over 100 yards. It was that kind of game. And then the following week, they simplified the defense completely. Very vanilla-like, where the players are not second-guessing themselves. They know where to be. And it was like night and day. Obviously, we also got, what's-his-face back? Bob Sanders.
Bob Sanders.
Changed a lot.
Oh, okay.
And our defense literally played lights out all the way into the Super Bowl. And sometimes that's all you need, just to simplify the scheme so that the players are just more instinctive, get some confidence back. And then once that starts to build up, then you can start add in some wrinkles again.
Yeah.
But I think right now their confidence is shot. So they're second guessing themselves. It looks like it's lackluster. So it's like you see missed tackles. Like, how could you miss that? It's because they're second guessing themselves. And the other team is also professionals. Right. So they're going to do what they need to do to win. I think that's a step that you guys could go. Just kind of simplify the scheme a bit so that they get their confidence being instinctive. Because you have enough. Usually that's a risk if you don't have like star power, but you have like ballers. If they come back, you got ballers. You can actually.
To counter that a little bit, not I agree with you on that concept, but the problem with this specific team is this is exactly what happened last year, and then they did that. They simplified their defense. They sent Kyle Hamilton back to just play regular safety. They just let everybody play the position they are playing. Weren't doing a lot of disguises and things like that, and the defense got better. Another thing about this team is, if you look at the Chiefs game from last week, the Chiefs' first 2 drives, the Ravens were playing bend but don't break. Yeah. Like the Chiefs will drive down, they'll have big plays, Worthy here, this there, blah blah blah. They'll get to the red zone and then they can't score because we tighten up a little bit. I watched videos from this game and it didn't look the same. It didn't look that way. We couldn't stop the run. We couldn't stop the pass. And so that's trenches, D-line and O-line. And that's one thing about trenches. No matter how much you simplify the defense, if your trenches can't do anything, it doesn't matter. And that's where our issue is. So that's why I'm surprised because, like I said, a lot of these guys are playing for money next year. So where is the fight? Kyle Van just came back from injury, and he's the only one I saw make a penetrative move to get to the quarterback. I'm like, you guys, what are you guys doing?
Owe and all of them.
Yeah, Owe is literally on a contract year.
Yeah.
And he's not coming back.
Yeah.
So that's why we drafted Mike Green. Now, Mike Green, we drafted you, and everybody was like, oh, you were supposed to be great, but you fell because of A, B, and C. We're not seeing that either. So it's just like, we don't know what's going on.
To be fair, he's a rookie, so you can cut him some slack a bit. Because rookies is not as like sometimes we're spoiled when we see like first rounders come and like ball out or like even second or third rounders.
I'm not even asking him to ball out.
Yeah, just put some effort.
Just let me see
some flashes.
What we bought. Let's see what we bought. You know, let's test drive the Camaro a little bit.
Yeah.
Not getting that. Yeah. Not getting that. So,
dude, I'm with you. I think you hit the nail on the head, man.
Simplify it, right?
I think they're second guessing everything.
Yeah, that's what happens. Like a lot of times, they just second guess what they're doing, and then like
it looks lackluster to us. I'll tell you from the bench and all the pregame talk and everything. It's not an effort thing.
Yeah,
you don't think it's
I believe it. Yeah,
they're getting outplayed. Like physically, they are not as talented, and it might be a scheme thing. Like because even when their starters are in there,
it looks bad.
Still looks bad. Yeah.
What's happening here?
Yeah.
It looks bad. Yeah. So maybe Zach came in with too many ideas. And
just simplify it and let their like instincts
go back to high
get
school.
Some confidence. Yeah. Because you have enough. Like if it was like if you had like one of those mediocre-ish where all your cap is on your offense and your defense has marginal talent, then maybe that's not a good idea. But you have like stars on the defense.
Oh yeah.
So if you simplify it and like they work on their instincts, I guarantee you. The defense looks a lot better than what you're seeing. But, I mean, it remains to be seen if they take that approach.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. The season is not done.
Your point also, like, at this point, do you rush Lamar in? What does that look like? Yeah, what does that look like?
Put him on ice.
Because you definitely need
Rams. That pass rush is brutal. Let's put him on ice if he needs to. We don't need. Let's go 1-5 and then go on from there, see what happens. Because the conversation is just going to be the same. Oh, the Ravens are finished and blah. So it's not going 2-4 is not going to change that conversation if you lose Lamar.
The thing is, the division is still very winnable because others are dropping. The only team that right now is, on the cusp of trying to make a distance is the old Steelers. Heads. The Steelers, yeah,
the old heads. Man.
The rest of them, like you're right with them. So and you're playing bad, and they lost Burrow, so that's a different conversation as well. But like for the most part. Those other teams are fairly healthy and they're not looking good. So
that's true.
It bodes well if you can piece it together to make a division run. It's not over yet. That's why I was like, there's still a lot of season to play.
Right.
But like it definitely does seem like the morale has gone from the fans. Like they've given up on the coach, and when that happens, it starts to be infectious onto the players too. So hopefully,
that is true.
Harbaugh has not lost the locker room because then if that's the case.
Well, to be fair to Harbaugh, he's lost the locker room before and got it back. So, and we've gone on to play well. So he might be.
It's just a matter of just starting winning, like you said. You just start stringing some wins, And everything just changes.
Yeah,
everything just changes.
But I think we need some trades to scare a few people. We need to trade a few players to let everybody
Who do you have in mind?
Andrews can go.
Oh, yeah, I read about that. Yeah.
Bateman can go. Not because of this, but just because, like,
I've been shocked.
Need fire.
I've been shocked about Bateman because I actually drafted him. Because he had, like, last year, he looked like he was coming out. Like, he was about to be a problem. And then this year, it looks like he's taking a step back.
Like, it doesn't serve him to be on this team because this is not the type of offense that works for him. And it doesn't serve us to have him here right now. So let's see what we can get for him. Anyway, let's talk about the African Player of the Week. We have another tie this week.
Oh, it was a good one.
And it's our favorite son again. Emeka Ibuka.
Like my man said, what's his name?
The
tight end.
Gronkowski.
Boo-boo.
He destroyed
his name on Fox.
Oh, wow, that was bad.
Then he went back and looked at it. Buka. Yeah.
That guy. But Emeka he went 7 for 163 and a touchdown. And then they were going against the Seahawks, who have Jackson Smith and Jigba. And then Jigba went 8 for 132 and a touchdown as well. So those two boys
former teammates
were balling. Yeah. They were having quite a game. The funny thing about it is it was Nigeria versus Sierra Leone.
Oh, he's Nigeria. Oh, yeah.
Jigba is Sierra Leone. So it was like, you know what we say, Niger versus Salone. So like it was pretty cool to watch.
West African Wars.
But Jollof Wars.
Jollof Wars,
so,
exactly.
It was really dope to see.
It was a good game.
Good game, very good game. Barely any defense, but
yes,
but a lot of great offense.
It was a shootout.
So I was also in other news, just to wrap it up, put a nice bow on this shit show of an episode from my side at least. Goodell has plans to launch a men and women's NFL flag football competition before the 2028 Olympics. I'm excited to see what that's going to look like. We're going to monitor it, see if we can get some of our African flag football players in there.
Yep.
I have no idea how many teams it's going to be and everything. Is it going to be global? Is it just going to be an American league? We'll see. But I'm excited to hear more about that as well. So, yeah. You want to take us out?
Yeah. That was episode, 6? Week 5, episode 6, and long may continue with our wins, and hopefully the Ravens can dig themselves out of the mud, and the relationship is no longer inverse.
The winning point is not feeling like a winning point right now, but this is the Winning Point Podcast.
We'll see you later.